き寝ていたのに。ごめん。
Bro, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Okay. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee and I'm back with some more Fruits Basket. The last couple episodes were so good. We got two really strong like progressions of the storyline. And I think obviously as we get deeper into season 2 and go into season 3, the amount of episodes up until the end are like starting to dwindle. It's kind of making me sad actually. We saw the episode where Tohru went to the Soma estate to find Kureno to essentially confront him about whether or not he is Arisa's Kureno and to pass along her contact information in case he ever wants it. I think Tohru of all people knows the situation that Kureno is in, at least somewhat enough to know and understand why he would be turning down Arisa and really building a wall there so that he doesn't start to get hope that he might be able to explore a romantic connection outside of Akito or explore a life without Akito. I'm so happy that he ended up picking up the contact information and keeping it. I don't know if anything will come of it, but it does remind me so much of Hattori. Obviously, the situation with Kana and that story is so devastating because I do feel like they were truly soulmates and like meant to be together. But at the same time, it shouldn't stop him from exploring new romantic connections in the future, which he kind of seemed like he might be open to. It would be great if eventually, when the curse is broken, fingers crossed, Kureno does get to explore things with Arisa. Then the next episode we watched was the school trip, and that felt like there was so much information and dynamics between the love triangle basically of Yuki, Kyo, and Tohru. It kind of felt like we got some glimpses of Yuki potentially moving on from Tohru and like starting to maybe think outside of her in terms of his future and his just day-to-day as well. Like, as much as I think he has so much love for her, I think even just being concerned with how Kyo was wording some of the things he was saying to Tohru and reassuring her that despite Kyo getting this like love confession, he was not going to accept it and he definitely was not going to really entertain it at all. And his choice to confront her about that and to really put her at ease knowing how much she cares about Kyo is pretty interesting because I can't remember a lot of times that he's really like directly almost called her out. And I don't want to say call her out because it wasn't rude or anything, but he definitely said that in a way that indicates that he knows how she feels about Kyo and like that's why he's saying it. At the end, we did see the leaf that he pulled out of the air and it kind of transitioned to him giving it to Machi as a souvenir. And then there was just some dialogue that was very, I don't know, heartfelt, and it just showed Machi like shining, which has been a big visual cue for Tohru specifically when it comes to Yuki, because we saw in that episode after the parent-teacher conferences that Yuki's view of his mother as this very like influential person, scary person, powerful person really diminished when he was able to stand up for himself. But you saw how much Tohru visibly lit up his world and his view, and you've seen it multiple times throughout the series, but this is the first time where you've really seen it directed somewhere else. And part of me wonders if that was the episode where things kind of come into focus. Maybe that was the moment of Yuki letting it go and accepting Tohru's role in his life, not as a romantic partner, but as somebody he has deep love for and cares about and will be there to support him. I just can't get over like the Machi transition at the end. I don't know, I was not expecting that. Like, I knew that he was intrigued by her, but I just wasn't sure how he actually felt about her or if he had any feelings toward her. And then on the other side of the love triangle, you had Kyo and Tohru. And there were so many little nuggets of things that Kyo said in that episode that really helped paint a picture of how he feels about Tohru. When he was getting the love confession, just his immediate dismissal of her and the idea that like, why would I be nice to somebody I'm not interested in? Without saying it, what he's actually saying is the reason I'm so nice to Tohru is because I'm interested in her, or I'm, in his case, he's in love with her. And I would love to have seen like her friends really pick up on that. I think they obviously know, like they're so good at reading them, but at the same time, I would have loved to see their faces in that moment to have them like picking up that comment. And I think Tohru was starting to realize her feelings. Her body was kind of telling her like, hey, I'm in love with this person, right? Because her heart was hurting when things were being said that weren't the kindest to her, but only by Kyo. Hearing certain things from Kyo just makes her very uneasy. Number one, being told like, that's not your business, or it doesn't concern you. But then also the piece of him kind of brushing off the cat and being like, well, I didn't seek this thing out, so it needs to like move on and go. She raised some concerns about like if he's just going to let her go so easily. And I think it's hard because they have very conflicting thought processes on everything. She's a very optimistic person. She is like, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to break this curse, to set them free. Obviously, I think he's a big part of that. On his end, he's like, my inevitable fate is to be confined. Why would I start something that I can't maintain? Like, why would I make promises that I can't keep? Why would I put her in a position to be disappointed, to be heartbroken? Which I think both mentalities are very valid. They just aren't super aligned in terms of where they're at right now, but they do like spending time together. So that's what they do. And the fact that he asked her to hang out was just, I loved it. I loved it so much. So again, I think that episode was kind of a turning point in the love triangle relationships. I think it really helped define what role each of those people plays in Tohru's life and helped kind of clear a path for Yuki to move forward romantically, maybe in a different direction, and then for Kyo to maybe make the most of his time that he thinks he has left with Tohru. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And now let's jump into the episodes. Oh, that's right. No, I feel like he's gonna be such a good big brother. Oh no. Oh God. She's always just slinking around. Oh my God. They're like 9. Oh. What? Okay, I definitely am eager to see what happened to her because obviously something happened that we have not seen yet. Him being there is also kind of upsetting. And I was thinking about her walking by and seeing that interaction with his mom. I feel like it could be so painful for the ones whose families and parents have really abandoned them in this whole situation. I feel like it could be so painful for them to see something like this where he does have this like loving family with this loving mother and like, I don't know, he has so many things that so many of them don't have. And I feel like that could be really tough. I also feel like he shouldn't be blamed for that. I just think I can understand and empathize with maybe the other ones having some resentment toward him because he has those things that they've always wanted or they lack or they don't have. So. Oh, so he knows that she's trying to break the curse. He's so irritating. Is how he responds to this gonna piss me off? Like, be honest. I feel like she has so much desperation to specifically save Haru, so much so that she's willing to literally become what sounds like a wife of sorts to Shigure, which is nuts. But I think it's a good demonstration of like literally how desperate she is for this curse to be broken. Oh, okay. There we go. I could have just waited 2 seconds for that to be said. I feel like he's bothered by that. Oh. Well, that was an interesting answer from Shigure, because he doesn't usually talk down on himself like that. Oh, that's a terrible idea. Oh my god.
僕はその上前を跳ねるから言っただろう最低だって
Yeah, I definitely don't know if I believe him in terms of like he is not interested in breaking the curse. I think he definitely is. I think the way he wants to go about it and his reasonings are just maybe potentially different from other people. I feel like he definitely doesn't know how. I think he would have done it already if he could. Not for Hattori and for Ayame, at least for the sake of himself, for whatever his motivation is. I feel like he's really bothered by the fact that he is not quite as close to Akito as he was in the beginning of the show. Obviously, with Kureno kind of really coming in to focus as the person that is like by Akito's side 100% of the time. On top of that, it does seem like the intimate moments with Akito and Shigure have definitely been limited in the second season of the show. I think he's feeling some type of way about that. He definitely seems kind of sad about it.
やっぱり資料も何もない。ずっと探してるのに何か知ってる感じがするのに
He's always hiding
何か
something.
隠してる感じが
Uh-oh.
気持ち悪い。グレニーにはあんな風に生きている人に
Oh no.
私春の心臓に生まれたかった。ずっと一緒にいられるもの。
それじゃキスも何もできないじゃん。
春
No.
春
いらないんだよ。
What was that?
嘘。何時今。気持ち悪い。
Oh, oh, oh? Is this a dream? I certainly hope so.
全部終わらせるんだ。
Oh no.
ダメ、ハイちゃん。また怒られる。
Oh my god. Are those her parents? Oh, she's struggling. Yeah, like she is. There's trauma. Mm. Oh my goodness.
いすずちゃん、お父さんもお母さんもいつも楽しいの。いつだってニコニコして幸せなの。それはまるで
Oh
お
god.
芝居の中のようにたった一度のその言葉で
Oh my gosh.
誰のために毎日努力してパパ
Okay.
ごめんなさいと嫌だったのに私のこと重荷だったのに無理して結局
Oh.
壊れて二度と戻せなくなって春怖い
No.
私怖くてたまらないの
That's super depressing. And also just like even in thoughts, like always going back to like Haru, I'm scared. Like always going back to Haru because it's like that's a person who's been there for her pretty much unconditionally. But I also understand why the only way that she knows how to protect him is to push him away, just given her background.
私のこと許してくれる日まで
Does she still live with them?
許して
あ、よかった。意識あった。
こんなことになる前は何度か遊んだりもしたけど白くて柔らかい髪が好きだよって言った時
周囲がもっと早く気づいてあげられたらよかったのですが。
気分はどうだい？
Oh.
誰
相馬一馬。相馬今日の養父といえば。
帰らなきゃ
I just love him, like his
家に帰らなき
character.
ゃ
家にはもう連絡した。
Ooh, don't call
君が
them.
受けてきた行為についても話してもらわない。
やめてよなんでそんなことやめてよほっといてよ私が悪いから
いいわよ。もう帰ってこなくて。
No.
いいわよ。どこか目の届かないところへ行って。
これからは気をつけるからもう迷惑かけないからママパパ置いていかないでママパパ
うるさいお前。
Oh my
いらないんだよ。
god, why?
るんだよ。そんなこと親 言われたら俺ら子供はどうすりゃいいんだよ。リンは自分が悪いって思うのにないがしろにされたらお前らと同じように俺らだって傷つくんだって。なんでそんな簡単なこともわかんねえんだよ。待て。
Watch Fruits Basket. It's so
謝
cute.
れよ。リンに謝れ。
出口のないことを考えて決まって。
散歩行く？
春はたくさん来てくれた。それが全部嫌じゃなかった。
I'm just obsessed with
春とい
them
る時
so
は
much.
苦痛なんてなかった。
髪とか態度が気に入らないみたい。だからこれはもうピアスもしてやるしかないなって。
What a Haru answer.
何それ。好きになってしまったかも。
リン、キスしよっか。好きだから。
ダメだ。
Oh,
アキトが怒るよ。
たまんないし。
oh my
それとも
god.
リンは他の
He's
男の方がいい。
so perfect.
そんなわけない。私は春が嫌になって離れていなくなってしまったら。
俺はリンを望む。リンは俺を望まない。
手が効かない。好きすぎて。ダメって
Wow.
思ってるくせに。
I just love Haru because he is so emotionally intelligent and like unfiltered when it comes to expressing his emotions, but he does it in such like a gentle way. I feel like sometimes unfiltered people can come across as very aggressive, and he's just so soft with how he presents his feelings and his thoughts. I love him so much.
本当なの？初春と付き合ってるって話。
Oh
すました顔して。だから女
no,
は
no, no, no.
ずる賢くて、その黒くてずるずる長い髪も。それでどっちが先にそそのかしたの？初春？お前？どっちが僕の不況を買う？
Oh no.
僕さ、怒ると周りがよくわかんなくなるんだ。羽鳥の左目は災難だったよね。ああ、そっか。そっか、お前。かっこ悪いね。
She's making me so nervous
お前
with her back against this
お
railing.
前ダメだね。
I just don't trust Akito
全然
enough.
ダメだ。いらない。
いらないんだよ。
I'm sorry? Did he just push her out?
で
Oh,
も春は私を望んでくれた。
I don't know why, but
私を
I didn't think even Akito would do
望ん
that.
でくれる人がいた。ありがとう。嬉しい。でももういいよ。解放しよう。
Not the rock. Oh my god.
本当の幸せはねえ、もっと広いところにあるんだよ。終わっていいから。いすずさん、起きられましたか？ご気分はそのまま横になっていらしてください。なんでこの子が。
That's like the best person to get close to.
今で吐いて倒れてたとこ
Oh,
ろ
all the figurines. She finished them and she painted the cat, which is so cute. The hat, the figurines, the picture,
をトールくんが見つけたんだ
the
よ。
books about their
その後
interests.
馬になっちゃったりして困ったよ。
病院に行くぞ。
No.
嫌だ。行かない。
いすず。
Ugh.
嫌だ。
Like she needs to go, but I also feel like she shouldn't be there.
嫌だ。
リン、自分の体調管理ぐらいできるようになったら？そんなに他人に構われたくないならなおさら必須だよ。
明日また来る。
いすずさん、どのようなご用事でこちらにいらしたのでしょう。あんなに辛そうになさってまで。
それが実はね。
No, stop.
僕とリン
Ugh.
付き合ってるんだ。嘘です。ごめんなさい。
He's so irritating. Just like he grinds my gears.
呼び出しといてなんだけど。アキトさん、大丈夫？
まだ言い訳は立つ。
ご機嫌取りも大変ですね。
お前に会いに来たんだろ
いすずは。
僕がその方法を知ってると勘ぐってて、時々やってくるんだよ。
途方もない話だ。
羽鳥、聞こえてこないか？
Hmm?
何が？
壊れていく音。
This goes back to the end of season 1 where they were kind of getting ready for summer, and like all of them, even Toru was like, I feel like I can feel something coming. Something is coming, something's happening. I don't know what it is, but I could feel it, I could hear it, whatever. They all were saying that. So I wonder if this is like just a continuation of that, like feeling, just more intense.
春に連絡したら許さない。
自分でどうにかするって春から言われ、春は今もリンを好きだよ。とても好きだよ。
あの人のおかげなんだと思う。ユキと今日のオーラ和らいでた。
そんなにすごい子なの？
うん、普通の子。
No,
リンも会えばわかるかも。
no, he really is.
優しすぎて。
But what a nice thing to
優
say
し
about
い人は
Toru.
かわいそう。あの子にも。 だけど、春と別れて初めてグレニーの家に行った時、あの子がいて。
私下の居間で寝ておりますので、何かございましたらお声をかけてください。あとお水も置いておきますね。
やめろ。私たちのこと見下してるのか？無様な姿を哀れんでるのか？そんなものは全部余計なことなんだよ。
So I get why she's saying this. Like I understand why she feels the way she feels, but at the same time, like don't you maybe think like if you're trying to figure out how to break the curse, you could use all the help you could get. Like why don't you just team up? Why don't you just become best friends? Why don't you just like become a akito fighting duo and figure it out together?
優しい人間が損をするのは嫌だ。
Oh.
傷つく姿は口を挟むな。
嫌です。出しゃばります。
ふざけんなお前。
嫌です。いすずさんに譲れないものがあるように、私にも譲れないもの。
解放できない。私もどうしたら。
いすずさん。
Oh my god. I don't know why that made me so emotional, but like Toru like finally standing up for herself and being like, no, I'm gonna do this because like I'm not letting this go. Like I'm not letting Hyo get confined. I'm not letting Yuki go back and be by Akito's side forever. Like
あの子はそういう子だ。そういう気持ちにさせる子なんだ。あの時も。あの膝に体を預けて、心を預けてしまいたかった。母親のもとに泣いて帰る子供みたいに。優しい人はすがられて、求められて、規制されて、私決めていたのに。ごめん、すがってしまう。こんなにも自分は無力で。
wow.
一人は怖い。一人は怖いです。
Bro, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Okay. Rin said the thing about Toru feeling like a mother or feeling like she had the inclination to run to Toru and like lie in her lap like a mother, looking for validation, looking for acceptance, looking for unconditional love, which she didn't get from hers. And I feel like it is so similar with Yuki. I feel like it's so similar with even like Kisa, right? Who still has a mom that loves her, but just doesn't know the right way to love her sometimes. I think with all of them, where they're craving that like unconditional support and love, they're so drawn to her. And I think that's why people like Haru don't, and maybe even like Hiro, right? Like they don't necessarily need her the same way that some of these other Zodiac members need her, because they have more support at home. They have mothers who are more engaged and like part of their lives and love them. And like you can just see the difference between the characters that really need that presence in their lives and the ones that don't quite need it as much but still find so much value in her being around. Because I think for Haru, it's so much about what she's doing for other people, not necessarily what she's like what impact she's having on him. So I think the other piece of this is ever since the beach arc and like we really started season 2, I think you're understanding that like Tohru is starting to confront her own trauma through the way that she's loving the Zodiac members and helping them heal their own trauma. She's starting to confront hers alongside them. And I feel like there's so much still to unpack with her childhood and the trauma that's there, but I feel like she is starting to do that.
もっと素直に甘えればいいのに。大切なのはその後だよ。いつまでも甘えたままでいるのか、それとも。
ドリンは一つだけ似てると思った。求めたもの。
Yeah, okay. That's a perfect line. It's a perfect line that shows Yuki starting to understand why he's drawn to Tohru and what it is about her that he needs in his life. And I think seeing it in Rin, real time, probably even helped him come to that understanding even more, or I guess made it more clear in his head.
まあ、当分おとなしく入院してくれることを祈りつつ病院通う。だから心配しなくていいよ。
No, no. He is dead.
校内放送で今のはないだろう。
感じの女の子が好みだったんだ。ユンユン。
No, no.
言うな。はあ、いけない。間違えちゃった。うわ、もうほんと。
I love him, actually. Took me a while to come around, but I do love him. Oh. That is so sweet. Because I feel like for so long, Haru's been the person to check on Yuki and be there for Yuki. And seeing this interaction and understanding that Yuki has people who, again, are outside of this like Zodiac thing and just a little bit more lighthearted and lively and can help him like maybe live a normal day-to-day for once is sweet. And I think that makes him really happy.
お互い検討。
頭切り替えていこう。
今年の文化祭はキャンプファイヤーが行われ花火までも打ち上がるという噂を聞きましたが本当なのですか？
本当じゃない、本当じゃない。
ああ、やはり。
可能かな。あやは校舎をライトアップさせたよ。輝きまくりたまえ。我が学びやよ。
兄さんは例に持ち出しされてもさ。
電気代。ロマンチックには何かとお金がかかるんです。会長さん。
にわかにムカつく。
No, truly.
ところで皆さん、食後にゼリーなどいかがでしょう？
珍しいね。リンの見舞い行ってるのか？もしかして。
はい、よくお分かりになられましたね。
なんとなく。
何やらキョウ君には最近私のことを。
Oh man. I also love, this is like not even relevant, but the little like doorknob things are making it look like he has those little mouse ears. Yeah, I feel like Kyo knows everything about her. Like she doesn't even have to say it. He's so perceptive. It's just like he can tell immediately what's wrong with her, what kind of mood she's in, regardless of how hard she's trying to hide it. And anytime she really says anything, he's like picking up the whole situation. I wonder how Yuki's gonna like respond to this. If he looks very kind of concerned, like he's definitely perceiving it. And it's interesting because I've been talking about how I feel like he is starting to maybe better understand what his drive is for Tohru and then also potentially move his romantic focus elsewhere. I think what Haru just said about like, let's both fight our hardest for the things that we both want. I think for Haru, that is Rin. For Yuki, that is Tohru ? Right? Like I think in Haru's mind it is, but like I wonder if it is.
声が小さくなってってるですよ。迷惑かけました。
お前何先に食ってんだよ。
そんなことありません。
Also, why does he have all of the jellos in front of him?
せめてものお礼に僕がゼリーを食べ
No.
させて差し上げましょう。おい、
そこの腐った。
苦しそうに掴んできたその手は痛々しくて抱き返すことしかできなくて、嫌いじゃない食べ物って 何ですか？
ゼリ
No.
きっと
Uh,
可愛らしいです。髪結んでらっしゃるお姿は初めて拝見しました。
no.
ゼリー持ってきたですよ。
No,
ー
that's
本当
sweet.
に持ってきたの？バカみたい。嫌いだから。
では冷蔵庫をお借りしてもよろしいですか？アキトさんはおっしゃいました。アキトさんは神様に等しい存在で、
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Collaboration.
神様と十二使たちは約束を交わした。
Mm.
きっと遠い、何百年も遠い昔、ずっと一緒だと。私たちはその約束に今でも縛られてる。
ないのでしょうか？本当に解く方法。
アキトだって知ってるかどうか。知ってたところで教えてくれるわけないけど。
クレノさんならばもしかして。
あいつはダメだ。アキトの言いなりで使い物にならない。
Yeah, fair. I feel like he wouldn't tell you
あいつを仲間だと
anyways.
思えないことを言っただけだ。
No, she's right. I should say more positive things about Kureno. I do like him, but I don't feel like he...
私、クレノさんに
I don't even know that he would know. And if he does know, I feel like he wouldn't believe that it could actually be
一
broken.
人で生きまくなよ。お前の一番大切なものって何？
それは。お一人で無理をなさらないとおっしゃってくださるなら、名実ともにコンビの誕生ですね。
お前みたいに
Yay!
頼りない相棒なんていらない。
頑張ります。頑張りますので。
一番大切なものって何？
私はなぜ言葉に詰まったりしたのでしょう。以前ならば即答できたはずでしたのに。そう、アパートです。ずっと二人で暮らしていた懐かしい匂い。
行ってくるね、トール。
ダメ。
誰にも見せない扉の向こうで静かに壊れていきそうな感じがする。なんとなく。そうなったら取り戻せない。美味しいよ。
No.
一人は怖いと知ってる人は人を愛さずにいられないから。
Those were such emotional episodes. I actually don't know why those ones hit me a lot harder than some of the other really emotional moments, but for some reason, like, the Rin Tohru situation like really got to me. I think we're starting to see that point where Tohru can't just block out her trauma anymore. She was so good at putting up a facade of being like this overly happy, always optimistic person, and I think because she's getting so involved at helping others heal what has traumatized them, it's really starting to like tear down her walls where she can't ignore the things that are affecting her and things from her past that she's blocked out or chosen to try to forget in order to be happy. I also wonder what it is about the question that Rin asked, right? Like, what is most precious to you? Why do you want to break the curse? What is it about that question that made her think of Akito? If she was thinking of Akito, it kind of looked like she was. What about it made her think of Akito, and what about it made her unable to answer it? Like, in my mind, if the answer is Kyo, or I think Kyo specifically because of the confinement element, and maybe it was thinking back to Akito telling her that Kyo would be confined. If it is that, then I think it has a lot to do with her mom. I don't think the similarities between her mom and Kyo are coincidences. Like, even just thinking about down to the name, right? Like Kyoko, Kyo, and then you have their look, like they both have red hair, orange hair, whatever. And then just like the fact that they've met, like that is something that we haven't really talked about since we found it out. So I'm dying to know more about that. But it kind of feels like she knows she has this love and she doesn't want him to be confined because she's felt that abandonment. She's felt that immense loneliness. Like Rin said, you can only have that much love for somebody when you understand how hard it is to be alone. And I think like Rin understanding that and seeing that in her is so perceptive. And of course she understands it because she has also been in that situation. But Rin being able to call it out and say the reason Tohru is the way that she is because she has experienced trauma and loneliness and things that have left her feeling so hurt and damaged that she wants to fix it in other people. And then wishing that Tohru gets someone like Haru who can help her open those doors is so sweet. And I just wonder, will that moment come where Kyo helps her go down that path of understanding the trauma and processing it? I feel like the answer is yes. If he had some connection to her mother, he might have actually more insight into her childhood than we even know at this point. We do keep getting like a lot of glimpses of the little setup, like altar area that she has in her room with the zodiac figurines, the hat, the picture of her mother, and then the books, and specifically the books that she picked out to understand like Yuki and Kyo's interests at very early on in the show. And while it is just a really nice representation of everything that's very important to her and everything that she holds so dear, I can't help but wonder if there's a reason we're like repetitively seeing that same scene episode after episode. I also don't think it's a coincidence that the way the cat figurine is constructed is a little bit different than the others. I think it could have easily been something that blends in more with the set, but it definitely stands out. Like my eye is drawn to it every time we see it. I feel like that's also not a coincidence. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Fruits Basket. Bye!